Hi everyone! Okay, we're starting out with a really nice clean face, and the first thing we're going to do is moisturize. So first I'm going to take my Olay Fresh Effects Bright on Schedule Eye Awakening Cream. That's a mouthful. And this is actually really nice and soothing, and it's got these little roller balls. So you massage the product into your face, and then I finish it off with my fingers. And then I'm going in with my Pond's moisturizer. As always, I have not changed this moisturizer in 2 years. It's just that good. I love it. And then I'm going to go in with my EOS Lip Balm and just apply that generously. Next thing I'm going to do is apply my Maybelline Baby Skin Primer, and it's quite thick, so you don't need a lot, just a tiny little dollop. And I'm going to just put this wherever I feel like I have open pores or I think I need a little bit of smoothing and filling in, which is generally just down the center of my face. Next up, I'm using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the color 108, and it's fantastic. And my beauty blender is already damp, but I'm dampening it a little bit more with some Fix Plus. And then I'm going to dot the foundation all over one side of my face and blend that in, and then do the other side, because this foundation does set fairly quickly. And so I think that's why people say that it's difficult to apply. I don't find that it's that difficult to apply. I just think that you need to work in sections. Once that's on, and we haven't forgotten our neck, I'm going to go in with my contour and my concealer. So my contour that I'm using is the Maybelline FitMe Shine Free and Balance Stick Foundation, and it's in the color 3355. Oh my god, I can't talk. 355 Coconut. And this is a nice neutral color for me. It's not too warm, which is what you want in a contour. You don't want it to be too warm, too bronzy, because then it's just going to look wrong. This color actually is more on the neutral side, as you can see. So I'm putting it underneath my cheekbones, and I actually put it sort of on my cheekbone as opposed to under, so that I don't lengthen my face. And I'll go into that a little bit more in depth a little bit later on in another video. I'm going to do this in-depth talk through contour video, but this is so you can see it. So once I've got my lines drawn on across the top of my forehead, down the sides of my nose. This is just to give my face some kind of definition and depth. I'm also going under my chin. Then I'm going to use my beauty blender. I'm going to spritz it again with Fix Plus, and then I'm going to start blending that inwards. The cheekbones especially, I'm going to blend up as opposed to down, so that we don't, again, lengthen the face. And I'm just going to continue and bounce that beauty blender all over until it is nice and blended in. Next up, I'm going to take my concealer, and of course this is my Ride or Die concealer. I love it, and it's in the color medium, the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in medium. And I'm going to put this under my eyes. I keep it in more of a rounded shape as opposed to a straight triangle that I see people doing, partly because that also helps to round and plump the face up. I have a long face, and it tends to look even longer if I'm too angular with the placement of my products. Again, I'll go into that more in depth in another tutorial, but for now you see where I'm putting it down the bridge of my nose, the center of my forehead, just around the sides of my nostrils where I get some hormonal redness, top of my lip, under my chin, and then I'm also going to put it along my cheekbones, just underneath, just to sharpen up that contour a little bit more. And then I'm going to blend all that out again with a beauty blender. The reason that I love this concealer so much is because it blends like a dream. It is gorgeous, it is smooth, and you need very, very little tapping. So I'm using the pointy side of my beauty blender. And this, of course, is my black beauty blender, the Pro one, which I actually really like. It's a little bit denser, and yet still a little bit softer than the regular pink one, which I really, really like. I love it. I've had this one for about 5 months now, 6 months, and it is still holding up really, really well. So I'm just going to blend in all of my highlights and my concealer gently. Again, you don't need to do too much with this particular concealer. It just blends like a dream. Once that's all blended in, I'm taking my Ben Nye banana powder, and this is just in a little sifter that I put it in. And I'm using the pointy end of my still damp sponge to apply this under my eyes. I like this because it's brightening, but it can be chalky, and that's why I apply it with the damp sponge, because then it doesn't cake on quite as much. You're infusing a little bit of moisture, I guess, into it. So I'm also going to apply it down the center of my nose, forehead, all the highlight areas again, but very, very lightly. As you can see, I'm not like packing it on so much that, you know, I'm not baking a cake here, guys. All the areas that you just want to be a tiny bit lighter, I'm applying with that damp sponge. And then I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Stay Matte and Poreless powder, and this is in the color 330, and I'm just using my big Real Techniques fluffy powder brush to pat that over the rest of my skin, and I'll use the powder brush to whisk away any banana powder, except for under my eyes. So now I'm using a smaller brush. This is the Real Techniques blush brush, and now you see I'm whisking away the powder that was under my eyes. I didn't leave it there very long. It was under my eyes maybe a minute at most. Again, find if I leave it any longer than that, under my eyes gets very creepy looking, which is not cute. Now I'm filling in my brows, and we've seen me do this 100 times, but I'm just starting with a taupe pencil. This one's by Jordana, I believe, and I'm filling in the front of the brow, and then I'm using the Rimmel brow pencil. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put it down below, and I'm just filling in the tail. As you see, I have no eyebrows, so I have to draw my eyebrows on, but this is the way that I find I get them to look really nice and natural. I don't use colors that are too dark, and I constantly go back in with an eyebrow brush or a spoolie and brush them out, and this particular pencil has a brush on the back of it, which is great. And then I'm just going to tap MAC's Charcoal Brown and Mystery Charcoal Brown in the front of the brow and Mystery towards the tail of the brow, just to set those pencils in place so they do not move. I'm using an e.l.f. angle brush for this. Again, I'm being light-handed. I don't want my brows to be heavy for this look at all. And I had to sneeze. And it wouldn't come out. Oh, I hate that feeling. So once my brows are all filled in and I give them a final brush through, I'm going to start to highlight my face. So I'm going in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This is so beautiful, so beautiful. So I'm going to take Dim Light and Radiant Light. And first, on my Real Techniques blush brush, again, I'm just going to run Dim Light pretty much all over my face. I don't know what this powder has in it. It's magic or something, because it really does just blur everything out. It's gorgeous. And then with Radiant Light, I'm going to start it on the high points of my face where I'm going to put my stronger highlight, but this just kind of helps that highlight to blend out a little bit more. And it's quite natural. You could leave it here if you wanted to. Then I'm going to take my Milani Baked Bronzer in the color Soleil, which is a beautiful color. And although it's quite shimmery, it's not chunky. So it applies wonderfully. And I'm using this buffing brush from BH Cosmetics. It came in a set, and I'm going to do a review of it because I love it. But I'm just going to pack that bronzer. It's a bronzer, but I'm using it as a blush because it's quite dark for me. And it means that I get a lovely golden glow. I love it so much. So I'm packing it on my cheeks, and then whatever is left on my brush, I am going to buff into the rest of my face, like across the top of my forehead, across my nose, under my chin, that kind of thing. And then I'm going in with MAC's Global Glow. This is a mineralized skin finish. I love it so much. It's a beautiful pinky gold. It's perfect for tan skins and darker skins. And I'm using Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just going to hit the high points of my face with it. So the tops of my cheekbones and my cupid's bow and the center of my nose. And you guys know the drill. This is just highlighting 101. I'm also going to run that Global Glow into the inner corner of my eyes just for a little bit of brightness, and also underneath my brows, along my brow bones, to highlight them with a Morphe brush. Then I'm going to curl my eyelashes and apply mascara, and you don't need to see that because you've seen it 100 times before. Then I'm taking my Sigma E45 fluffy brush and just running some of that bronzer through the crease of my eye, just for a little bit more color, a little tiny bit of definition. The last thing I'm going to do for the eyes is to intensify that inner corner highlight just a little bit more because I felt like it wasn't strong enough. That's, of course, optional. Last thing is to clean off my lips, buff across the edges of them so there's no harsh line, and apply lip balm, and then I am done. You guys could apply lip gloss. You can apply any color lipstick with this makeup look. You can also use this as a base to build on and create anything else from there. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.